Hello everybody, welcome to my channel.
Tom Brokaw, a legacy in American journalism. Tom Brokaw stands as one of the most influential figures in modern American broadcast journalism. With a career spanning more than 5 decades, he became a trusted voice in homes across the United States, guiding viewers through some of the most significant events of the 20th and early 21st centuries. Early life and education. Thomas John Brokaw was born on February 6, 1940, in Webster, South Dakota. He grew up in the small town of Yankton, where he developed early interests in public affairs and communication. After graduating from Yankton Senior High School, he attended the University of South Dakota, earning a degree in political science in 1962. During his time in college, Brokaw gained his first broadcasting experience working at local radio and television stations. Career beginnings. Following college, Brokaw worked for television stations in Nebraska and Georgia, gradually building a reputation for his clear reporting style. His work caught the attention of NBC, and in 1966 he joined the network as a reporter and anchorman for its Los Angeles bureau. During these early years, he covered major stories, including Ronald Reagan's successful 1966 California gubernatorial campaign and the 1968 Robert F. Kennedy assassination. Rise at NBC News. Brokaw's national prominence grew in the 1970s when he joined the Today Show as co-anchor, where his professionalism and calm demeanor made him a household name. In 1982, he became co-anchor of NBC Nightly News, and by 1983 he assumed the role of sole anchor and managing editor, a position he held for more than 2 decades. During his tenure, NBC Nightly News became one of the most watched news programs in the United States. Brokaw reported from the field during major world events, most notably the fall of the Berlin Wall in 1989. A moment that remains one of the defining images of his career. Retirement and continued work. Brokaw stepped down from the anchor desk in 2004 but remained a special correspondent for NBC News. He continued contributing documentaries, political coverage, and in-depth reports for many years. In 2021, after 55 years with the network, he formally retired. Author and historian. In addition to his broadcasting achievements, Brokaw is a celebrated author. His book The Greatest Generation became a bestseller and cemented his role not only as a journalist but also as a chronicler of American history. He went on to write several other works, including personal memoirs and reflections on cultural and political change. Personal life. Tom Brokaw has been married to Meredith Lynn Auld since 1962, and the couple has 3 daughters. He has spoken openly in recent years about his diagnosis of multiple myeloma, a type of blood cancer, and his ongoing treatment. His resilience and candid discussions about illness have resonated with many of his admirers. Legacy. Tom Brokaw's influence on American journalism is profound. His authoritative yet empathetic style made him one of the most trusted news anchors of his generation. Over his career, he earned multiple Emmy Awards, Peabody Awards, and the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Though his legacy has been touched by controversy due to allegations of misconduct late in his career, Brokaw remains a towering figure in broadcast news. His work shaped public understanding of pivotal moments in history, and his voice became synonymous with reliability during uncertain times. Tom Brokaw, the voice of a generation. Tom Brokaw is widely regarded as one of the most iconic broadcast journalists in American history. For more than half a century, his voice narrated some of the country's most defining moments, elections, wars, national tragedies, and historic triumphs. Steady, calm, and authoritative. He became a reassuring presence in homes across the nation. His career not only chronicled modern American history but helped shape the way it was understood. Early years. A small town beginning. Born on February 6, 1940, in the small prairie town of Webster, South Dakota, Tom Brokaw grew up with Midwestern values that would shape his character and reporting style. His father worked in construction and later as a plant foreman, while his mother served as a post office clerk. The family lived modestly, often moving for his father's work, but maintained a strong sense of discipline and community. Brokaw attended Yankton Senior High School, where he excelled academically and socially. He was student body president, active in debate, and captivated by politics at an early age. That passion followed him to the University of South Dakota, where he discovered his love for broadcasting through college radio. His political science degree and campus media experience set the stage for a career that would eventually define television news. Climbing the ranks of local news after graduation in 1962, Brokaw began his professional journey in the competitive world of local television. He worked for stations in Sioux City, Omaha, and Atlanta, cutting his teeth as a reporter, anchor, and producer. Even in these early years, colleagues noticed his clarity, precision, and ability to break down complex issues for everyday viewers. Local reporting during the 1960s was intense. Civil rights marches, political upheaval, and assassinations dominated the news cycle. Brokaw's coverage of regional events caught the attention of network executives looking for young talent capable of handling larger stories with sensitivity and authority. Joining NBC News, a rising national voice in 1966, Brokaw joined NBC News as a correspondent for its Los Angeles bureau. The position thrust him into the center of major events, including the 1968 Robert F. Kennedy assassination at the Ambassador Hotel, the Vietnam War and domestic anti-war protests, the rise of California politics, including Ronald Reagan's ascent. His on-the-ground reporting won praise for being vivid yet balanced, a hallmark of his later broadcasting style. The Today Show era. By the mid-1970s, Brokaw's credibility and charm landed him a coveted position as co-host of the Today Show. The program required a blend of hard news delivery, cultural awareness, and personality, all of which Brokaw navigated with ease. During this period, he conducted high-profile interviews and covered major news stories, helping Today maintain its status as one of America's morning staples. It also introduced him to millions of viewers who would later follow him to the network's flagship evening broadcast, the NBC Nightly News, a defining legacy. In 1982, Brokaw was named co-anchor of NBC Nightly News. A year later, he became the sole anchor and managing editor, a position he held until 2004. It was during these 21 years that Brokaw solidified his status as a national institution. Historic coverage. Brokaw covered nearly every major global event of the era, including the fall of the Berlin Wall in 1989, one of his most celebrated moments, the end of the Cold War, the Gulf War, and the Iraq conflict's presidential elections from Reagan to George W. Bush, natural disasters, social movements, and groundbreaking scientific developments. His calm demeanor and steady delivery during national crises helped solidify public trust. A trusted national figure, Brokaw, alongside contemporaries Peter Jennings and Dan Rather, formed the Big Three of American evening news anchors. But many critics and viewers regarded Brokaw as the most relatable, a product of small-town upbringing, grounded values, and a firm belief in clear, factual reporting. After the anchor desk, continued influence. Even after stepping down from NBC Nightly News in 2004, Brokaw remained deeply involved in journalism. He served as a special correspondent, narrated documentaries, contributed to election coverage, and provided historical analysis on major issues. His 2021 retirement marked the end of an extraordinary 55-year career with NBC, one of the longest in the network's history. The author, chronicler of American stories Brokaw became a best-selling author, most notably with The Greatest Generation, a book that honored the men and women who lived through the Great Depression and fought in World War II. The book resonated deeply with the public, shaping national dialogue about patriotism, resilience, and sacrifice. He went on to write several other works, including reflections on the 1960s, political change, and his personal battle with cancer. Health and Personal Life. In 2013, Brokaw was diagnosed with multiple myeloma, a form of blood cancer. He spoke openly about his treatment, the emotional toll of illness, and the gratitude he felt for medical advancements. Brokaw has been married to Meredith Auld since 1962. They have 3 daughters and numerous grandchildren. The couple splits their time between homes in New York and Montana, where Brokaw enjoys the outdoors, writing, and reflection. Awards and recognition. Throughout his life, Brokaw has received numerous honors for journalism excellence, public service, and historical writing. These include multiple Emmy Awards, Peabody Awards, DuPont Columbia Awards, the Presidential Medal of Freedom, induction into the American Academy of Arts and Sciences. His body of work has become a benchmark for journalistic integrity. Controversy. Late in his career, Brokaw faced allegations of inappropriate conduct made public during the broader national conversation around workplace behavior. The claims sparked debate and scrutiny, adding complexity to his legacy. A lasting influence. Tom Brokaw's career represents an era when nightly news anchors were among the most trusted figures in American public life. He reported from war zones, political conventions, disaster sites, and historic celebrations, shaping the nation's understanding of world events. Tom Brokaw, the reporter who became America's narrative voice. Tom Brokaw's life is interwoven with the American story itself. From the quiet plains of South Dakota to the global stage of world-shaping events, Brokaw spent more than half a century explaining the world to millions. His work bridged generations, technologies, and eras of journalism, from black and white broadcast news to the digital age. To understand Brokaw is to understand a central pillar in the architecture of modern American media. Chapter 1: Roots on the Great Plains. Tom Brokaw's childhood in South Dakota deeply influenced his worldview. His hometown, Webster, was modest and rural. His parents instilled in him values of discipline, humility, and hard work. He often spoke about the cultural simplicity of Midwestern life, neighbors who knew each other, long winters, and an atmosphere that encouraged curiosity about the wider world. Growing up in a region far from political and media power centers, Brokaw developed a hunger to see more, learn more, and tell stories beyond what surrounded him. He attended the University of South Dakota, where his early work in broadcasting hinted at talents beyond his years. Classmates and mentors recalled his charisma, intellect, and ability to summarize complicated events in plain, relatable language, traits that later became hallmarks of his journalism. Chapter 2: Early Journalism. Fire and pressure. Brokaw's first jobs in local stations provided rigorous training. In the 1960s, local newsrooms were gritty, understaffed, and demanding. Reporters had to shoot their own footage, edit it manually, write their own scripts, and deliver with confidence, often all within the same day. During this period, Brokaw learned how to report under intense deadlines, how to stay calm in chaotic situations, how to speak with authority. Even when the story was evolving how to understand shifting public moods during turbulent times, his local reporting on civil rights struggles, anti-war sentiment, and political change prepared him for national work. NBC executives recognized his potential and brought him to the network in 1966. Chapter 3, NBC. Covering a nation in upheaval, joining NBC placed Brokaw directly into the storm of American history. As a correspondent, he covered the assassination of Robert F. Kennedy, riots and protests during the late 1960s, the rise of political conservatism, the cultural revolutions reshaping society. He became known for his ability to remain composed while reporting from scenes filled with tension and uncertainty. In the California Bureau, Brokaw built relationships with political leaders, activists, and cultural icons, giving him a broad understanding of America's evolving identity. Chapter 4, The Today Show years, a national introduction. When Brokaw joined the Today Show in 1976, he transitioned from field reporting to daily national visibility. Morning television required more than hard news. It demanded warmth, adaptability, and spontaneity. Brokaw excelled at interviewing global leaders, explaining breaking news to everyday viewers, shifting from serious topics to lighter human interest segments. Although he initially worried that morning television might be seen as less serious, the platform elevated him into one of the most recognizable faces in the country. Chapter 5, Taking the Helm of NBC Nightly News. In 1982, Tom Brokaw assumed one of the most influential roles in American media, anchor and managing editor of NBC Nightly News. A trusted presence, millions tuned in every evening to hear Brokaw's calm.
Bye bye. Thanks for watching. Bye.